Welcome to the Zone team. We'd like to take a few moments and share with you a little bit about our business model, why it has been so successful, and how it can create true residual income for the average person. Let's lay the foundation. What is residual income? Well, residual income is reliable income that you earn month after month and year after year with nominal ongoing effort from you. Let's consider an example. Let's say you wrote a hit song. Well, after the initial work to write and produce the song, you'd earn an ongoing residual income from the royalties earned for each time that song was played or purchased. And if you wanted that song to stay popular, well, you'd have to spend a little time now and then promoting the song and making some appearances to make sure that the sales stayed strong as well as your residual income. But unfortunately, not everyone can write a hit song. In fact, only a small number of artists have ever done it. And the same goes with authors and actors. So where can the average person find residual income? Well, how about selling insurance? With the changes in federal insurance, however, health insurance residuals have all but disappeared, and nowadays, life insurance commissions are almost always paid up front. And with online insurance taking more and more market share, the average agent just can't find reliable, ongoing residual income. Financial planning is a little better, but the average person actually needs a financial planner. They don't necessarily have the skills or the desire to do it as a business. And think about business owners. I don't know about you, but when I talk to business owners, it doesn't take long to figure out that for most of them, they don't actually own that business. That business tends to own them. Oh, and of course, there's multi-level marketing. Some of those companies claim to have residual income. But the reorder rates of multi-level marketing companies are often dismal. In many cases, less than 20% of the customers ever purchase a second time. You see, with high prices and limited product offerings, poor quality, and inventory loading, these things keep customers from shopping month after month, and as a result, there is no true residual income. So, why do so many people consider multi-level marketing and home-based businesses? Well, I believe there's two sincere reasons why people try these companies. First, they want to own their own business without all the traditional headaches. They want to get out of corporate America. They want to control their time and their future without having to worry about employees and payroll and taxes and shipping and manufacturing and all those things. The other reason is that they want to create real, lifelong, willable residual income. That's the whole idea. Residual income that will last. That's why people do those types of companies. But here's the problem. The world is made up of the 80-20 rule. Basically, it means that 80% of the money is made by 20% of the people. It's okay. It's really what makes the world go around. But this is why the average person can never get ahead or make any kind of money in multi-level marketing. So here's the goal. Find a business that the 80s can do. Find a business with real residual income where everyone can win and no one can get hurt. So how is it that the average person can find true residual income with the Zone team? Well, the company that we represent has built and created several distinct advantages, and each one adds up to and results in residual income. The combination of each one of these advantages is what creates residual income month after month and year after year. No competitor, in fact, no other company has all of these advantages, and we call them our success factors. So put your business hats on for a minute and let's take a look at these success factors. When we're done, I think you'll see why you can only find residual income with a company that we represent and why it makes sense to partner with the Zone team. The first thing you need to look for is to make sure that the company has a proven track record. You need to find a company that's been around for at least 7 years. Why? Well, because the statistics are off the charts that most companies fail within their first 5 years. One of our business partners, his name is Mark, when he was in a situation where his wife was working with a multi-level marketing deal and she had just returned from her company's national convention, they learned that the company had secretly gone out of business and filed bankruptcy that same weekend. Now, that company was only around for 3.5 years, but a lot of people got hurt. We also see that people get hurt in traditional businesses when economic downturns cause companies to lay people off. Look what happened to Jim. He said, after working in the same industry for 21 years, I was laid off due to a tough economy. I wanted to find a business that was recession-proof, one that I could build knowing I would never get laid off again. Fortunately, I found a stable company with continued growth for over 2 decades, regardless of economic downturns. That's amazing. Second, make sure that the company is financially sound. Don't settle. Find a company that's actually debt-free. Debt is what kills most of these businesses. It can even kill entire countries. Make sure that they have a proven continued growth domestically, where you live. A business model that's working great on the other side of the world isn't necessarily going to benefit you here. And also, make sure, in order for the average person not to get hurt, make sure the company has a culture of encouraging financial stewardship. There are a lot of companies out there that encourage you to spend it until you get it or fake it until you make it, and that is just not the type of company that you want to be associated with. Keeping up with the Joneses is not where you're going to find true happiness. In fact, living within your means and having no debt is where people find true financial peace. Find a company that encourages the right lifestyle. Look what happened with Yvette. They were stressed to the max because they had over $50,000 worth of debt. They had more month-end money, and then they found a business with real, reliable residual income. Within 18 months, they were able to pay off all their debts, and she was able to quit her job. Now they live debt-free, and they get to show others how to do the same thing. Next, make sure you have a company with strong management. This is crucial for long-term success. You want to find a company that is being run by people that have proven track record of running large, successful organizations. Do your research. Most of the people that run multi-level marketing companies have very interesting backgrounds. Many of them come from other multi-level marketing companies, and they bring with them their bad habits and flawed views of how to run a company. Many actually brag about how many companies they've started or how many they've been a part of. But when you look a little closer, most of those companies are either out of business or they're not doing very well. Listen to what happened to Rhonda. I became acutely aware of the importance of a strong management when the owner of my home-based business, who had started many other companies, told us that this was the last one he was going to build. He then sold it 5 months later to start another company. I'm so thankful that I've now found a company with strong management and a business that I know will last a lifetime. Fourth, it's extremely important to find a company that has products and services that are highly consumable. And not just by some, but by all demographics, young and old, men, women, in all income brackets. If you don't have that, it'll be extremely difficult to grow true residual income. Make sure that you watch out for companies that have a sizzle product, a one-hit wonder, a miracle product that you can't live without, but amazingly, you've been living without it your whole life. There are a lot of diet plans and juice deals out there. You just got to be careful. Ask yourself, is this a necessity or is this a nicety? Okay, I made up that word, but think about it. If the product that you represent is not highly consumable by all, you're simply going to find yourself pushing products and you're never going to realize real residual income. That's what happened to Ann. She said, in my previous business, I represented products to a narrow target market, and since the products were not highly consumable, I found myself continually selling more and more products with no residual income. I then found a company where my customers wanted and needed to buy the products that she represented every month. Now she enjoys reliable monthly residual income working from home. And that's great. Number 5, the product and the service must be competitively priced. Okay, so ask yourself this: can the product compete in the marketplace? If you saw that product sitting at Target or Walmart, would it sell? Is it a higher quality product? And don't get tricked. Look at cost per use. Does it make sense to be a customer? Are there real people buying real products? Most multi-level marketing companies actually put a compensation plan together first. Then they throw in a product or a service to move the money through that plan so that people can get paid. It's typically between $120 to $160 per customer per month in order to make these types of plans work. And because there's technically a product involved, the system is considered legal and not money laundering. But when people realize that the product is not higher quality, that cost per use is outrageous, they realize that it doesn't make sense to be a customer. To create true residual income, you need real people buying real products that they want, need, and use every month. Here's Michelle's story. She said, as I was becoming more health conscious, I found myself spending a lot more money at the stores for healthier products. And then I was thrilled to find a company that offered healthier, safer products for my family that were reasonably priced. I quickly found that I was able to save money. Oh my goodness, figure that out. And build a residual income helping other people do the same. Next, you've got to make sure there's a low personal consumption requirement. Ask this, what is your monthly overhead? And do you have to stock up on inventory? Remember, it has to make sense for the 80s that are out there. It has to be able to work for the average person. Many companies require monthly or quarterly quotas or encourage business people to stock up on inventory. This hurts a lot of people. And you got to make sure that the company is not encouraging you to stock up on products. This is what happened to Lisa. She found a home-based business. She was in a home-based business for 4 years. She was emotionally attached and thought she would be there for life. But her marriage was strained because they had maxed out their credit cards trying to keep up with the quarterly inventory requirements. She then found a business that allowed her a significant residual income without carrying inventory and without disrupting her family's busy schedule. Number 7 is actually the number one thing you need for true reliable residual income. We're going to spend just a second here because you need to pay close attention. You need to realize that this is the most important thing that companies claiming to have residual income are typically missing: customer retention. Well, when it comes down to it, you could have the most magical, wonderful, miracle product in the whole world. You could have the cure to cancer. But if your customers are not buying those products on a monthly basis, there is no residual income. So ask, how many times per year does the average customer shop? Or ask another way, how many customers who purchased the product last month will order again this month? You see, it needs to be above 90% or you're just going to be spinning your wheels. Make sure you understand this principle and know how to look for it. Understand the reorder rate of whatever company you're investigating. They should be able to show you their business report and their customer reorder rate. If they can't show you a reorder rate, they don't have one. And don't get tricked. Auto ship business models, they don't work. Most customers get frustrated with auto ship and they tend to cancel within 3 to 6 months. Look what happened with Mary. After spending 8 years building a base of over 6,000 customers in a party plan business, she realized that the residual income she was looking for was not there. In 1 month, she only had 1/4% of her customers even place an order. And now she's grateful to find a business where she enjoys a 95% monthly reorder rate because her customers choose to buy those products every single month. I want to show you why this number matters so much. You need to see why every single person that's in multi-level marketing and party plans can never get ahead because this number is never there. Let's look at a comparison of 2 businesses with different monthly reorder rates. So our friends that own a gym, they had a monthly gym membership of 65%. What that means is that 35% of their entire customer base had to be replaced every single month just to break even without growth. That's a lot of work. It can be tough. But it gets worse. In most home-based businesses, the average month-to-month reorder rate is between 4 to 10%. And if you get lucky, you might actually find one with almost 20%. Now, let me show you what we're really talking about here long-term. For customers, for this comparison, let's be generous. And let's say that 30% of the customers ordered on a monthly basis. So we got 30%. And we're going to say this is established business. So we got 100 customers coming in a month and 2% monthly growth. In a 5-year time, after all that hard work, you're left with 456 customers buying your products. And you've earned about $56,000. That's great. Now let's compare to a business that has a 90% reorder rate. Everything else stays the same. Look at what happens at the end of 5 years. You now have over 2,700 customers as your customer base who are shopping, and you've earned over $316,000. This is why month-to-month reorder rate is the most important thing that has to be in place. And without it, you simply find yourself selling product month after month in a transaction-based industry. Now let's take a look at the difference between income levels at different reorder rates. You can see that the difference between a 10% reorder rate and a 30% isn't really that big, even after 5 years. It's almost impossible to get up over the amount of customers that are leaving every month, and so it's impossible to build a residual income. Even look at 40%. You would still only earn $65,000 in those 5 years of working. But when you get up over 90, the pendulum begins to swing the other way. The compounded residual income gains power. And as you bring it up by even just 1%, you bring up your income exponentially. Month to month reorder rate is the key to residual income. When it's not there, you can't build residual income, and you can begin to understand why so many people spin their wheels, they don't get ahead, and they don't make any money in so many of the companies that are out there. Number 8, you need to find a company with low startup costs. Franchises can be thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and many home-based businesses have big startup fees as well. Many of those companies get you to buy a lot of inventory when you get started, or they entice you to spend more in the beginning so that you can get deeper discounts, have a higher position, or have a higher commission rate. All that does is it front loads the sales for the company, and all it does is fill people's garages with inventory that they're unlikely to sell. Another thing to watch out for is companies that try to look like they're moving product or services, but really what they're telling you is, hey, all you need to do is just go get 3, and then we'll help those 3 get 3, and then you've made it. Look, this is a trap because they're just selling people. They're not selling products, and you can't create residual income. It's just a money game. Becky's story is this. To get started the right way in her company, she invested $3,800, and in addition, she invested hundreds of dollars every single month into inventory, which resulted in huge debt for her family. She then found a company that focused on real people buying real products that they really need and use every month. And now she's able to have a reliable residual income without having to invest in inventory. I think that's a great story. All right, the next thing that we need is low attrition. Find a company with an attrition rate of 10% or less. Again, you've got to find a company that offers real products to real customers that they want, they need, and they use every single month, month after month, year after year. In order to build a real business that creates residual income that you will be able to will to your children, look what Jay says. Once I understood that I was losing 65% of my customer base every single month, it became apparent to me why I could never get ahead anywhere in my previous business. Now, my business model is simply based around customers buying products that they want and need rather than convincing them to buy a flashy product to support a compensation plan. And he says, I'm thrilled to be building a business that we can pass on to our children because we know that this one will last. Timing, number 10. Here's an interesting one because a lot of people talk about getting into a business when it first gets started. First in and you win. It's a great theory that allows some people to make some money, but it rarely results in long-term residual income. Ground floor opportunities are high-risk propositions. Most of them will not last. And the business should have the ability to keep getting better over time. If not, how will it continue to grow? It should be easier to build a business today than it was 5 years ago. And when you look 5 years into the future, it should be even better down the road. So don't get tricked. Ask to see the business reports and the checks, not only of those who are seasoned, but those who are just getting started. Let's put it this way. If you were going to buy a coffee shop down the street, would you just take their word for it that sales were strong and that they were profitable? Or would you ask them to open up their books? Well, when you look at any business, there should be an open book policy with full disclosure. And if they won't show you the numbers, then don't go into business with them. Listen to this. After working 10 years in a traditional business, I realized that I had very little show for my efforts. There was certainly no residual income. As I began to explore my options, I did not want to get tricked or make a decision based upon hype. I found a company where everyone was willing to show their monthly business numbers, and I was delighted to find out that it was not just the seasoned people who were making money. I'm so thankful to have a real business with real residual income. Number 11, make sure you have a company with no territories or breakaways. This one can hurt a lot of people. In corporate America, you'll often find that they rearrange territories and make you do more sales for less pay. Multi-level marketing companies have what they call breakaways. Basically what it means is you bring someone in, you mentor them, you help them build their business, and if they outperform you, pop, they take that person away from you. Oh, sure, well, you might get paid a small override on what they do, but guess what? Your check just got smaller. The newest form of the breakaway is called a binary compensation plan. And basically what this is, you have 2 legs, and let's say you enroll your sister on your right leg and your cousin on your left. Well, after a while, your cousin's been doing great, and he's got about 1,000 customers. Your sister, on the other hand, she's got 10 customers, and then she changed her mind. She no longer wants to build the business. Well, guess how many customers you get paid on? 10. You get paid on the shorter of the two legs. The trick to this compensation plan is balancing out the two legs, and it can be very difficult to do. With either of these business models, you are not rewarded for running with those that want to build. You're actually encouraged to work with the non-producers and push them to do something that perhaps they no longer want to do. You've got to keep in mind the 80-20 rule. Most people don't want to build a business. If you've got a great product, they just want to be a happy customer. Look for a business that rewards leadership development and rewards you for helping others. Tiffany said that she worked in pharmaceutical sales and her company would realign territories, causing her to work harder to maintain the same income, if not less. And she's so thankful that she now can earn a replacement income with a company that has true residual every single month. And finally, risk-free. For customers, what that means is a full money-back guarantee with no games. And for those who are building a business, make sure that's an investment of time and hard work and not a large investment of money. Ask yourself, how many people can get hurt? Ask it another way. How many people am I willing to hurt in order to reach my goals? Well, and the answer better be zero. Unfortunately, there are many companies out there where people do get hurt, and it's because they don't have all these success factors. Sure, they may have a few, perhaps even half of them, but all they focus on is the opportunity and not the reality of their business model. Listen to what happened to Todd and Christy. For 9 years, we worked in a home-based business where we put all of our income back into products, books, tapes, and meetings. Because of this, we were never able to get ahead financially, and we were completely burned out. There is now a sense of peace, knowing that we found a company where no one can get hurt or lose money. We earn a 6-figure income, and we get to help others do the same. So here's the list. This is the key to true residual income. All 12 items must be in place. Now, let me ask you, which one of these is not important to you? I think if you're honest with yourself, I think if you will realize that not a single one of these items can be taken off the page, not one. So if you agree with that, why would you spend 1 minute of your time, effort, energy, reputation trying to build a residual income with a company that doesn't have all 12? Over the years, our colleagues have used this list to analyze hundreds of companies. Only one company has ever been found with a business model that contains every one of these success factors. So here's the question. Are you looking for the next business to build, or are you looking for the last one? If you're looking for the last one, I encourage you to contact the person that introduced you to this video and let the Zone team help you reach your goals. We're on a mission, and together we are leaving a legacy by enhancing lives one family at a time. The Zone team invites you to join us.